Something new for New Year's. I am going to go live on Instagram. So here I am. And I'm going to make some cowboy caviar live. If you don't know what cowboy caviar is, it's with black-eyed peas. There we go, black-eyed peas. My mother told me when I was little, I don't know if this is just something she told me or something that every mother tells their kids. She told me when I was little that I would have one day of good luck for the new year for every single black-eyed pea that I ate. So if I ate 365 black-eyed peas, then I would have every day of the new year would be a lucky one for me. So now I tell my kids the same thing. So, you know, just perpetuating the myth. So I don't like to eat black-eyed peas just plain because that's just boring to me. I don't count them like I used to when I was a kid. But instead I make cowboy caviar on New Year's Day. So here we are, New Year's Day. I'm gonna make some cowboy caviar. And I decided to get outside my comfort zone and do a Instagram live because why not? So here we are. Black-eyed peas clearly has to go in this. Otherwise, how are we gonna have good luck, right? I have to drain this, so hang tight. Oh, you know what? I also have to drain black beans. That's gonna go in it too, so I might as well do both at the same time. These are, I believe, 15-ounce cans. Black beans and black-eyed peas. I already did the macros on this whole thing. Hi, y'all. I've never done an Instagram live before. I can I can see y'all's comments or I can see who's joined. Feel free to say hi. All right, let me go drain these. I'll be right back. Whoa, making a mess. Okay, drained and rinsed, black-eyed peas and black beans. And then one more can. This is whole kernel corn. It is 12 ounces. I'm gonna drain and rinse that. Put that in there. I guess it's kind of like a dip. You dip tortilla chips in it. I don't typically buy big bags of tortilla chips because if I did, I would sit on a couch, put my hand in it, and then I would probably eat until I was overly full. So I don't do that anymore. I'll show you all what I do instead of tortilla chips, which I find low calorie, satisfying, and you make it a few at a time. And it's not what you think. It's not corn tortillas. That's not what I do. Hang tight. Corn. Boom. That's a lot of corn. I feel like maybe I should have done half of that, but it's all right. I already counted for all the calories, so we're gonna do all of it. All right. We're gonna mix that up, and then I'm gonna add some vegetables. We are adding, I wrote it down so that I could tell you, 150 grams of grape tomatoes, which I chopped with my Full Star veggie chopper. I love this thing. I actually do use it. It's one of the tools that I really do use. This needs to be drained too. Hang tight. Fritos. Y'all use Fritos in this. Nice. I like it. You use white corn in your Texas caviar. That would make sense to use white corn. I probably should have done that, but I didn't. Then I do, let's see, red onion, 80 grams red onion. I measured all this with my scale. If you don't have a kitchen scale, get one. People, I got mine from Target. I find the Target brand is usually bigger than the ones you buy from Amazon. If you ever buy a food scale from Amazon, be sure to look at the description and how like big it is, because they will sell you one that's like super tiny. You can't put a plate on it. It's stupid. Anyways, 80 grams of red onion, and then 100 grams each of yellow bell pepper and red bell pepper. So throw that in there. Then, ooh, this looks good already. I should use a smaller spoon. Delicious. Okay, now for the awesome, yummy part, I'm just gonna use the same bowl I used. I don't like to dirty dishes, y'all. My husband actually does the dishes a lot for me because he's really nice. Okay, so the sauce is gonna be 1/3 cup of vinegar. You're supposed to use white vinegar. I've seen some recipes say to use red vinegar, some recipes say to use white vinegar. I don't have white vinegar, so I'm using red vinegar. I'm not worried about it. It's gonna taste good. So I'm gonna use red wine vinegar, 1/3 cup. And then to that, I'm going to add a tablespoon of sweetener. Now, I'm not going to use real sugar. If you want to use real sugar, go for it. I don't use real sugar. I use Splenda or stevia or whatever. Look, I put my sugar, my 0-calorie sugar in one of these because I buy giant bags at a time. I'm going to put a tablespoon in my vinegar. All right. And then chili powder. Gotta have chili powder. A teaspoon of that. This is, I think, a half a teaspoon. So I'm gonna go a teaspoon of chili powder, a teaspoon of cumin, however you pronounce that, and salt and pepper. I have cilantro somewhere around here. I think I cut it up earlier. I'm gonna get a smaller spoon. I'm gonna whisk that up real quick. Then I'm gonna add lime. I'm gonna add some lime juice to it. Gotta have lime juice in it. Cilantro and habanero. Don't worry, I've got cilantro already. I also have jalapenos. I don't know, if you've been following me for a while, I feel like 2 years ago I did a video where I just stood here and ate a raw jalapeno to show that I love spicy food. It was hot. It was spicy. A little bit of me regretted it, but it was delicious. I probably won't do a video like that again, but you can scroll through the archives of my Instagram and find it, I'm sure, somewhere. I need a knife and, oh, I need this. Found it, cilantro and lime. So I'm gonna add that. Some recipes say add half a lime. I'm gonna add the entire lime because my lime's kind of tiny. I'm gonna add it directly to this. And my sauce juice, I don't know what you call it. And boom, mix that up. This is so delicious. You know, the great thing is my husband doesn't like it. He does not like black-eyed peas at all. He refuses to eat them like a child. So that means more for me, which makes me happy. Homeboy just gonna have no luck, I suppose, according to my mother. Handful of cilantro, because I love cilantro. Not too much cilantro, but a little bit of cilantro. I'm gonna get a different spoon. There we go. That's better. Yum. This is going to be my lunch today. So I went ahead and put all of this in the Lose It app because that's just an easy app for tracking calories and tracking macros. And, oh, you know what? That's in my phone, but I wrote it down because I'm doing the live in the phone. Okay, so this entire bowl, the entire bowl is 1,237 calories and 64 grams of protein. Okay, clearly I'm not gonna eat the entire bowl. So, I might eat like a fourth of it, maybe a sixth of it. I don't know, I'm gonna use it as like a dip. If I were accurately trying to be in a fat loss phase, what I would do is I would take this entire recipe and I would separate it out into 4 containers, 6 containers, whatever it is, portion sizes for myself. I would do the division, do the math, and then I would know the calories and protein that I'm getting. And I'm sure some of you are like, wait, what about the carbs? What about the fat? What about all that? Listen, if you are trying to lose fat, stop trying to play Tetris with all of your macros. Like, if you're trying to lose fat, first and foremost, get in a calorie deficit, period. If you're in a calorie deficit, you will lose fat over time. If you're consistently in an accurate calorie deficit, you will lose fat over time. It does not matter where your fats and carbs are. Now, protein, it does matter. Protein, you're going to want to keep high because you have to mitigate muscle loss. You have to stay satisfied. Protein has a higher thermic effect of food. These are all different videos that I can make later. Or you can come to my Transform Yourself class that starts January 6th. I'll teach it to you there. Regardless, calorie deficit, high protein, you only have a window of opportunity left for fats and carbs. You're not going to overeat your fats and carbs if you are in a true calorie deficit and a true high protein goal. That only leaves you with a little bit left of calories for fats and carbs. Don't overcomplicate things. Stop overcomplicating things. Be in a calorie deficit, get your protein goal high, hit that protein goal, and you will see results. I am making cowboy caviar. And the reason I'm making this is because it is New Year's Day, and my mother has convinced me from a very young age that I will have 1 day of good luck for every black-eyed pea that I eat. My family is coming in the door, so that is that you hear. Okay, I said I was going to talk about the chips that I use. So let me show you what I use instead of eating tortilla chips that keeps the calories low. Now I gotta find it. It's in my refrigerator somewhere. Okay. I use these. Hey child. I'm doing an Instagram live, so if y'all back here, you're gonna be on camera, so say hi. If you want to say hi. Okay, so I use these. They're wonton skins. They're basically wonton wrappers. And I use them as chips because if you take them and you put them in your air fryer, by the way, these are 25 calories each. So if you take these, like 4 of them, and then you cut them into little triangles, spray them with spray oil, put them in your air fryer for about 4 or 5 minutes. Totally depends on what your air fryer. I don't ever really change the air fryer temperature. I just keep it at 400 because I'm lazy like that. But these little bad boys, I'm gonna cut them in little triangles, spray them, put them in the air fryer. They come out, and I've got like giant chips to dip with, and it's added 100 calories. And that's it. So I haven't added tons of extra calories. So that's kind of what I do for my makeshift tortilla chips. You can do the same thing with corn corn tortillas, because Mission corn tortilla has the mini corn tortilla. In fact, I think I have some in my pantry. Hang tight. Voila, yes I do. Look at me. 25 calorie Mission tortillas. So I can do 4 of these as well. Cut those up, which might be even better. So those are kind of the things I keep in my house instead of keeping bags of chips, because if you keep if I know, look, if I'm not saying I never buy bags of chips, but if I do buy a bag of tortilla chips, I'm going to sit with an open bag of chips and not track and not count and overeat and overconsume. And that's just not conducive to my goals. So instead, voila, that's what I do. And then it's just a certain amount is what I make. And if I want more, there's a barrier there, right? There's friction there. If I want to have more chips, I can't just reach in a bag and grab them. I have to go get more, put them in the air fryer, wait for it to be done, right? So I'm not going to go through all that hassle just for more chips. So there we go, Cowboy Caviar. Hopefully I will eat enough to have enough days of good luck this year. But I'm not sure I really believe in luck. I believe in effort, I suppose, and opportunity, and taking advantage of opportunities that are given to us. I hope all of y'all have an amazing new year. Thank y'all for coming to my Instagram live. I might continue doing these. I don't know. I was like, you know what? It's New Year. I'm gonna try something new. So here we are. Spices and sauce. Somebody asked, so I will answer. I did 1/3 cup of red wine vinegar. I did 1 teaspoon of chili powder, 1 teaspoon of cumin, a tablespoon of sugar. I use 0 calorie. If you use real sugar, you gotta just add those calories in there. And a lime, salt, pepper. There you go. And so now I have a beautiful dip that I'm gonna have for lunch. Happy New Year, y'all. Now I gotta figure out how to close this thing.